Hey guys, today's video, basically the topic revolves around can you afford to market online? And that's with paid ads. So we're going to go through three different formulas. A formula for a single product, a formula for a service, and a formula for a subscription model. So we'll start with the product. The term that we like to use is acquisition cost. So an acquisition cost is basically what you can afford to acquire a new customer, because that's what marketing is. You're basically buying new customers at a profit or a rate that you feel is profitable to do so. So the layman's terms view I like to take is, if you and I were in this room right now and I said, I have 100 clients for you waiting at the door, what would you pay me to let each one through the door and scan your credit card? That is your acquisition cost. That is your allowable acquisition cost. So with a product, it's a little bit different, because generally when you're marketing online, assuming it's a consumer product, it's a direct purchase. There's no leads to calls to anything like that. It's a direct purchase. So the formula that you should be looking at is how many clicks do I need to get to my website, and then how many website views do I need to get a purchase. So if your product is $100 and it costs you $40 to produce that product, there's $60 left there, right? So out of that $60, you may say, I'm willing to allow $20 of that for marketing, and I'm happy to make the other $40. So that is simply what an acquisition cost is for a product. So finding out what your margins are, seeing what profit is actually worth making the sale for, and then having an allowable cost. Because if you think about it, if you're happy with a $100 product that costs you $40, and you're happy to make another $40 on that and give $20 to marketing, you can basically have an unlimited marketing budget. So you can say, okay, I want to sell 100 products a day. I just need to times my budget by my acquisition cost of $20. So that's how you work out what a marketing budget should be and what it can be. Then you've got to test and measure to see if you can actually get it under that $20. So that is testing different ad copy, testing different audiences. And once you find that audience, you try and scale to that acquisition cost. Obviously, if you can get it lower than that, that's better. But if you can't, and that $20 mark or whatever you set is what you can do, you can scale indefinitely. So the second one is a service. A service works a little bit different, because most services work based on getting a lead rather than a direct sale. So for example, if you have a consulting service and you're trying to generate leads, whether it be through an ebook or through a webinar or just through a general consultation form on a website, again, the same principle applies. You've got to reverse engineer your numbers, okay? So with a service, you've got to consider, is it a one-off service? Is there a chance for a lifetime value of that customer as well? So let's just say your service is a $500 service. If you need staff, or you value your own time at $250 of that, you've then got $250 left to work with, okay? So how much of that $250 do you need profit? Let's say you want $200 a client profit. So your allowable acquisition cost might be $50, or it might be $100, that depends. You work out your own numbers with your own service, because it's going to be variable for each service. The difference when you're talking about a product compared to a service is you generally need to work out what your cost per lead is, rather than your cost per acquisition first, and then try and see how many leads you need to convert a sale. Now, if you're working with a marketing agency, they can help you with the cost per lead, but they can't really help you with the cost per sale in this sense, because it's really determined on how good of a sales team you have, or how your pricing compares and your service compares to your competitors and such. So if you work it out that, okay, well, we're going to allow $100 out of that 500, and you need five leads to get a sale on average, your target lead cost is then $20. So 5 leads at $20 to get $100 acquisition cost. Okay, so that's how service businesses work. Now, if you know it's a recurring service or there's a chance to get repeat business again, and you want to invest into getting that client as a lifetime customer, there's, in most cases, the allowable acquisition costs might increase because there's more value for that client in the future. If your business runs on a subscription model, what we like to call the Netflix model, then your acquisition cost changes again. So what you've got to consider, let's assume that it's a monthly service that you're selling. If you can, depending on the profit margins of that service, because a lot of these services it's a lot of fixed cost and it doesn't actually cost you much for months 2, 3, 4, and 5. You may consider, okay, well, I'm happy to break even on the first month with my acquisition cost and then make my money in months 2, 3, 4, and 5. A recurring business model is my personal favorite because it does allow you an increased marketing opportunity for a client that you didn't have already. And the only problem is your profit is only delayed by the next payment. But months 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so forth are 100% profit. So the same metric works with this. You've just got to work out what your allowable cost is out of that method. If it is the full first month, that's fine. If it's a little bit less than that, if you need to cover some hard costs, that's fine as well. But then the same principle applies. What can you afford per lead, and then how many leads do you need to get a sale? And you just do the simple math. It's all about reverse engineering your numbers to figure out what you can afford to market online.